this might come as a surprise, but I don't think video quality on YouTube matters as much as most people think that it does. And if you know me, you know I'm a gadget girl. I like cameras and lenses and microphones and lights, and I love talking about all of this stuff. But I don't think having all of the best quality gear is that important of an ingredient to your success on YouTube. So let's talk about it here on episode number 24 of Video Brand Infusion. My name is Meredith. I'm here to help you infuse the best video marketing strategies into your business so that you can become the go-to person in your niche and generate consistent revenue. And I want to talk about video quality, like the technical quality, but I also want to share with you some of my best tips for how to mimic the look of a high quality video setup, a high production value setup for your videos, even if you're only using your phone or a webcam. And to prove it to you, I'm going to switch to my webcam right now. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, you're going to see it look quite a bit different. I'm going to do the whole episode like this because I want to show you that it doesn't actually matter. Let me know if you left because the video quality just all of a sudden got really bad. I'm just kidding. I know you're still here, but there is a huge barrier to creating video content, right? And so it takes time to figure out, it takes time to do, to set up, to learn, it takes money to invest in all of these things. And I see this with my clients and students being this huge roadblock because they think, well, I can't create my videos yet because I don't have that fancy camera yet. I'm saving for it, or I don't have it all set up yet, or my background and all that stuff behind me is not quite there yet. Or I have clients whose channel, is not really doing well. It's not really growing as fast as they want. They're not really getting engagement. They're not generating leads or sales. And they think it's because of their video quality isn't, up to YouTube's standards. But the assumption that your success on YouTube is hinged on your video quality is pretty flawed. Depending on what you watch on YouTube as a consumer, if you look around in certain niches, in certain topics, you don't have to go very far to find videos where the quality is pretty poor. They're using a webcam. It's kind of grainy. Maybe the audio is not that great, or maybe there's just something not quite right about the video, but you can't put your finger on it. It just doesn't feel very professional or polished. And there's videos out there like that from people even today that are being published today that aren't really high quality videos, but yet they still get thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of views. And they're still growing by thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So we know that it's not because of the video quality, right? And on the flip side, if you have spent time and energy and money, if you're one of those people that does like to go out and buy cameras and lenses and stuff, and you got everything all set up and your video quality technically is very good, but your channel's still not really doing well, then you also know that it must not have anything to do with the actual video quality, right? And so if you kind of let your success on YouTube ride on the quality of your video, the technical quality of your video, you could risk wasting a lot of money on gear that doesn't actually end up paying off for you. And you also risk just simply not getting your content out there sooner. In the amount of time that you've been thinking about getting a fancy camera or monkeying with your fancy camera setup to get your videos done, or the amount of time that you've spent thinking, well, I want to make YouTube videos, but my video quality is not that great. I don't really know what I'm doing. In that amount of time that you've let it be a roadblock, other people have been creating videos that are probably mediocre quality or less on your niche topics in your niche. So if you're still watching this, I'm now recording with my webcam on my 10-year-old Apple Thunderbolt display. This is a dinosaur of a computer monitor. I use it because of all the ports that it has in the back. But we are talking about at least 10-year-old webcam software here. Okay. And it's a little grainy compared to my real camera that I used to start this video, but it's not that bad, right? So I want to share with you how you can mimic the look of a higher quality video, even if you're using a webcam or if you're using your phone. Because even though video quality technically doesn't really contribute to your success on YouTube, it does feel good to make videos that look good and sound good, right? And it does feel good to promote those videos out there and know that you're building trust, you're building your audience, and you have some legitimacy to what you're saying in your content because you feel like the confidence of, yeah, my videos look pretty good. And if you do like gadgets and camera gear and setups and things like that, you're going to love the Crush It on Camera series that I have on my channel, where I walk through how I have everything set up for me. And nothing about my setup has really changed since I recorded that series. So I'll link to that in the show notes. I'm using the same microphone, same camera, all that stuff as I was when I recorded that. So if you want to know what I use and exactly how to set it up and hook it up to the computer so that I can easily record my high quality videos, I highly recommend you check out the Crush It on Camera series, which is a free series on my channel. And the one caveat that I want to mention here is the quality of your audio is probably 10 times more important than the quality of your actual video. So I'm talking specifically about the visual part of a video in this episode, the video quality. But your audio quality is actually very important, I think, to your success on YouTube, because our ears are very sensitive. Humans don't watch things or listen to things that are hard to listen to. So we're going to talk about no cost, easy to do things to enhance your video quality. But if you are creating videos or video podcasts or audio podcasts and you haven't upgraded your audio and you're just using like whatever built-in equipment you have, I highly recommend you start with a good microphone. All right, so lighting. Let's talk about lighting, because the lower quality of a camera that you have, I think the more important thinking about lighting is going to be, because light is like the one ingredient that a camera has to have in order to do camera things. That's what a camera or a video camera does. It captures light. So the more light that you provide for the camera to do its job, the better quality that video quality is going to be, even if it's kind of a crappier camera. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to shut off my light over here and my light above my face, and you're going to see that, yes, the camera is still picking me up. Now that I'm moving my hands, if you're watching the video of this, like there's a ton of blur happening, and my lips might not be totally matched up with the words that are coming out of my mouth because there's a little blur happening there with my lips. And it's because the camera, the webcam that's built into my monitor, is trying so hard to compensate for the lack of light that it's sacrificing other areas. So a low-cost way to overcome this would be to position yourself in front of a window, in front of a sliding glass door, not in direct sunlight, but with just your regular daylight that comes in, which is very flattering for you in your actual video, but it also helps the camera do its job. So I'm going to turn my light over here back on, and the one over here is just well, it looks kind of bad from this angle, but when I'm talking to my regular camera, it just kind of helps to fill this side of my face. And if I move my hands around now, they're not quite as blurry because the camera is not having to work so hard. Now, if you can't situate yourself close to a window where you're facing a window or sliding glass door or something, at least situate yourself in a room that does have lots of natural light flooding that room. Now, lighting is going to actually help the like technical video quality of your video because you're helping the camera do its camera things. But the second thing I want to talk about doesn't really contribute to the technical video quality, but it does contribute to the overall look and feel of your videos. And that is your framing. What I mean by that is where you, and I should have mentioned this before, but I am talking about like regular talking head style videos where you are positioned in the rectangle that the camera is recording. That's the framing I'm talking about. And framing is one of those things that I think sometimes you can watch a video and go, there's something kind of off about this. It's not quite what I would expect from a polished video, but you can't quite put your finger on it. A lot of times it's because of the framing. If you're listening to the audio version of this, you may want to come over to the video version on my YouTube channel because I'm going to tip my monitor way up. My webcam is built into my monitor, so I can't move my webcam. When my monitor moves, the webcam moves, which is how it is if you have a laptop computer, right? So you could have it tipped way up, you could have it tilted way down, and your webcam is going to be attached to it. So a lot of times what I see happen with my clients and students is their head is way down low or it's right in the middle like this, which you might not think looks that bad. It does look balanced and I am right in the middle, but I also look like I'm just a head in a box and there's all this headspace above me. So I always like to just make sure that my eyes kind of line up with this top third of the frame. I mean, I'm not measuring or anything. I'm just eyeballing it. No pun intended. But I'm just kind of like lined up with the top third line if I break this frame up into thirds. So that's a little trick that you can use no matter how close or far away you are from your camera. If you always line your eyes or nose up with the line that makes up the third of your frame, then your video is going to feel pretty balanced and it's going to feel like you're just having a regular, natural conversation with somebody. If I have my head way down here in the corner and there's all this space over here, like, first of all, what are you looking at back there? Those are a bunch of empty boxes, but it doesn't feel like we're having a natural conversation, right? And so that can be distracting for the viewer. And that, I think, is the thing that often makes us go, there's something wrong about this video, but I can't put my finger on it. It's when it feels weird or, unnatural. There's a couple other little tricks that I think mimic a higher quality looking video, and that is coming away from your background as much as possible. I always like to say if you can read the books and stuff behind you, then you're too close. That's going to be very tricky with a webcam, maybe a little bit easier with your phone to get that background to blur. But the further you are from it, like physically, the more it's just going to be naturally blurred in the background. And if you think that people don't notice when you are using like a fake background blur, we can tell. And I think you could take all of these tips and apply them to your videos and have pretty good results. But at the end of the day, people don't keep watching your content because they say, wow, such good video quality, right? They watch your content because of your content and because of you and because of the value that that content brings. So your video quality and your audio quality and your setup is really only part of an equation. It's part of a list of ingredients in how to create good videos that do actually grow your channel and grow your business. And I do 100% believe that there is a certain confidence that you have on camera when you know that your videos look good and sound good, right? You do feel good on camera when the output that you see does actually look good. But there's an important ingredient that I haven't even mentioned yet, and it's probably one of the biggest roadblocks for my clients and students, and probably for you too, when it comes to being consistent with the content you create. And that is the editing of your videos. Because let's be honest, you could have the best video quality in the world and the most interesting topics, but if it takes you 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours to edit a video, it's not going to happen every week. And even if it happens every once in a while, eventually it becomes harder and harder to see the ROI of spending that much time editing your videos. So if you're sitting here thinking, Meredith, my video quality is not what's keeping me from being consistent on my channel, it's the time it takes to edit. Maybe it takes you forever, or maybe you don't really know what you're doing. So every little step of editing feels like a brand new skill that you have to learn, and the software is overcomplicated. And I want you to know, first of all, you're not alone. Second of all, I want to show you how to crush your YouTube edits in 2 hours or less. So I have a masterclass coming up that I'll link to down in the show notes. I want to show you how to create a simple and efficient workflow so that you can be consistent with your video content, because consistency is key on YouTube. You have to build a library of binge-worthy videos in order for YouTube and the time and effort you put into your content to actually pay off for you, to grow your channel and to grow your business. So the faster you can create those videos, the bigger you can build your library of binge-worthy videos, the faster your channel is going to grow. And if you're using your channel to grow your business, then the faster your business is going to grow. So join me for that upcoming masterclass, and man, we're going to create an assembly line for your video workflow that even Henry Ford will be jealous of. Did he invent the assembly lines? I honestly don't know. All I know is I'm going to show you how to crush your YouTube edits in 2 hours or less. So come hang out, learn a few things, and I'll link to that in the show notes. And if you watch this entire video with the grainy webcam, let me know down in the comments of the YouTube video. And just for funsies, I'm going to switch back to my regular camera so that you can see the difference. And you watched the entire video with the grainy webcam anyway, so I rest my case.